and Vingegaard isn't there to respond to Primoz Roglic, who's making a move on him for the win. But Matteo Jorgensen, come on, man, win it. Matteo Jorgensen, 500 meters to go. No, Roglic, don't do it. Come on, Jorgensen, to the line. Bernal and Roglic, but they can't beat Matteo Jorgensen. What a victory. Roglic is going to win this race overall. Matteo Jorgensen wins the stage. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you pitted all of the best nations at cycling against each other in a 15-race season filled with races going from Paris-Roubaix all the way to La Vuelta a España? Well, if you have, you're in the right place. That's what we're doing in today's episode. Wout van Aert, spoiler, is really good. There's a very big surprise winner in the Paris-Roubaix, and yeah, we start with Vuelta a España, the Grand Tour of this year's season. I hope you're excited. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and I appreciate all the comments, and let's get into the racing. Today's episode starts off with the hilly ESCHBORN Frankfurt, ending with a flat finish, and then we move on to the iconic cobble monument Paris-Roubaix. We then race the mostly flat European Championships with a time trial perfectly suited for Filippo Ganna, before ending the episode with the opening week of La Vuelta a España. And here we have the recap of the first two episodes to catch you up on all of the action with the Cycling Nations Cup. San Juan showed us Ewan's prowess and Krauw Andersen's surprise victory as a frustrated UK and Ireland team, and also Portugal, watched on. Spain and Germany are flirting with relegation as Roglic has become unstoppable, and Belgium now leads the overall standings on the back of Wout van Aert's great performance. After rumors surrounding the Italian team, the first actual transfers have been announced. Many were surprised when Valentin Madois was left off the team, but he comes in now to replace Thibaut Pinot, who lacked form with the climb-heavy French team. Spain needs anything to get out of the relegation zone and are hoping to get some points from the puncher Jesus Herrada. Australia and New Zealand also had too many mountain climbers and decided to bring in the more versatile Simon Clark. Steimle lacked the top-end ability to get needed points for Germany in the sprints, who brings in Max Kanter to hopefully help Phil Bauhaus and Pascal Ackermann. In a very shocking drop of Ivan Sosa for the Colombian team to bring in a relatively unknown Jonathan Restrepo, Sosa wasn't racing as Colombia has so many climbers, so they decided to bring in a more versatile sprinter to help out Gaviria and Milano. And Novak lacked versatility, so HSA brought in Michael Gogol for the cobble and hilly races. In the first race of this episode of Cycling Nations Cup, we have the ESCHBORN Frankfurt, a race in Germany with some hills, but a flat sprint finish to the end. Caleb Ewan's team, Australia and New Zealand, has been controlling it the entire time, and it has been tough as 47 riders only remain, but only Pascal Ackermann is the only real contender that has been dropped so far. Michael Morkov has been dropped as a lead-out man, but not many of the top sprinters. Belgium now controlling the race. Tim Merlier, second wheel. We have Bauhaus, Ewan, Buhani, Philipsen. Groenewegen looks done for Netherlands, so maybe an attack with Van Baarle is their only option, as it has been too tough for Philipsen and Groenewegen. Krauw Andersen hanging near the front, but we have Mesgetz leading the attack. Dylan Van Baarle, Remco Evenepoel, Pollitt and Trentin, but Krauw Andersen closes that, I assume, for Mads Pedersen. 8Ks to go now, and Mesgetz knows that he's not going to win if it comes down to a big bunch sprint, so he's trying to go early. Van Baarle, really good attack ever since Groenewegen has not been up for the pardon. Mesgetz is done, so it's Evenepoel and Van Baarle, two super strong riders, trying to solo this, and Germany, Phil Bauhaus himself, their sprinter, is chasing. The peloton seems to have very few answers, and it looks like Van Baarle or Remco Evenepoel could be winning this race. 3.5 kilometers to go, and Van Baarle looks to struggle. Oh, Krauw Andersen really tries to bring him back. Ciccone on the front, Alaphilippe. Who's going to win it if it does come down to a sprint? Van Baarle seems to have nothing left, and Evenepoel doesn't want to drag him to the line. So with 1.5 Ks, Van Baarle goes, and Evenepoel tries to sprint. Who's got it? Nairo Quintana's trying to win, but it's going to be Remco Evenepoel. What a job from Remco. What an attack. Van Baarle will be happy with second, and Brandon McNulty wins the sprint ahead of Nairo Quintana, Bauhaus, Ewan Buhani, Bilbao, Denny Martinez, and Mads Pedersen. What a ride by Brandon McNulty to get third, but Remco Evenepoel with a clever win Van Barle will be very happy to get second, as he had no one else from the Dutch team that was up for the task, and Brandon McNulty and Nairo Quintana are the best sprinters in the world. You cannot argue with it. It has been a torturous Paris-Roubaix so far. Remy Cavagna with a terribly timed puncture, but also just Krauw Anderson, Van Poppel, Toons, Wout van Aert even at one point, making this so difficult and just dropping riders like Mikkel Bjerg is a very solid rider. Primoz Roglic struggling at the back with Bissiger and Johan Jacobs. And with 150 kilometers to go, there's only 35 riders in the peloton. As the main kind of second peloton, they don't seem to have what it takes to go and win this race. And Guillaume Boivin already attacking with Madois, Pollitt, and Stuyven. With so much to go, this race is like barely even started, and they're racing like there's 20 kilometers left. So this will be a shattered, all over the place Paris-Roubaix by the time we get to the end. This is like a Paris-Roubaix I've never seen before. The peloton seems to have given up with 112 kilometers to go. There's 12 and a half minutes and just continuously growing to a breakaway of 15 riders. And after the peloton would not chill, Switzerland and Belgium are the only ones who even seem to care. No one wants to win. Jasper Stuyven now is the big favorite, with Valentin Madois, Nils Pollitt, Pedersen, Boivin, Pogacar, all in good positions, as one rider has been dropped, that is Hugo Kuhl, so Boivin without a teammate now. But yeah, it looks like these 14 with 60Ks will for sure contend for the win, as no one else wants to win. Why would you want points when you could just not have points? I think what happened is that a lot of teams started attacking, and all of a sudden every single team is just in the breakaway now, except for Switzerland. And Switzerland's not really strong enough to do anything, so they're the only ones chasing because everyone else is represented up here. We are into the last 25 kilometers, and the breakaway is now down to 12, as Michael Gogol, Garcia Cortina, and Huel have all been dropped. Remy Cavagna going out the back, as it's now 11 riders. We still have 5 cobbled sections to go in Paris-Roubaix. And here we go, Stuyven and Campenarts. They look almost unbeatable, as Teunissen can't do it. I told you the breakaway was the way to go, and Campenarts is trying to win this thing. And they know Stuyven can just sit in the wheels now, as Filippo Ganna, Nils Pollitt, and Mike Teunissen all out the back. So only 8 riders in contention, and Guillaume Boivin really making an effort after he had a really good Paris-Roubaix in real life a couple years ago. Walscheid is starting to struggle as the Germans look in trouble. They need this. The Germans really needed this, but with Walscheid and Pollitt both struggling so badly, I don't think it's going to happen. Victor Campenarts with 12 kilometers. He will be a hard guy to catch. But Tadej Pogacar, Boivin, Gianni Moscon, Madois, and Mats Pedersen will all do their best. As Guillaume Boivin, he's been at the front for so long. He's been doing so much of the chasing, and I just don't see how he has anything left in the velodrome. But I think Victor Campenarts is probably going to win this as they head into the velodrome. 4 kilometers to go. Victor Campenarts with a 35-second lead, and it just doesn't look like Gianni Moscon has what it takes. I think Victor Campenarts, what an improbable Paris-Roubaix victory for the Belgian. Gianni Moscon doesn't have what it takes. Guillaume Boivin, I don't think he does either. It's 46 seconds. It's too much. Victor Campenarts, he almost retired. No one wanted him a couple years ago, and he wins a monument in Paris-Roubaix. Pogacar no one had anything left. Pogacar, Campenarts, Pogacar 1-2 in Paris-Roubaix. It looks like Jasper Stuyven will make it a great day out for Belgium, getting 3rd. Pedersen 4th. Boivin with a wonderful finish in 5th for Canada. Germans will still get 2 in the top 10 with Nils Pollitt, Walscheid. Also good stuff from Gianni Moscon and Valentin Madois. Walscheid just finishing, and the last top 10 will be Filippo Ganna. It's been a hard race for it just being pretty flat, and we are about to cross the 10-kilometer mark. Danny Van Poppel probably should not be leading the race this early. Jakobsen and Groenewegen are a very strong duo for the Dutch, but they're already basically sprinting. The Dutch seem to always go so early for absolutely no reason. Caleb Ewan and Tim Merlier, Giacomo Nizzolo being a lot more controlled. We see Anor Demar Mohoric maybe gonna sprint. Who knows? Green Boivin, maybe he's gonna get another top 10. But yeah, we have 5 kilometers to go, and don't even Poppel, Groenewegen and Jakobsen are already at the front, and Van Poppel already has nothing left. 3.5 kilometers, and now the Australians are going to go. Patrick Bevan, Groves, and Ewan. This is what they lacked at UAE, just its coherent lead-out train. But Groenewegen, huge lead-out for Jakobsen, and they're telling Tim Merlier to the finish. Tim Merlier, he should have this, but Groves and Ewan now. I mean, Demar maybe, but Tim Merlier, and then Caleb Ewan explodes on the right. And what a lead-out from Groves. Merlier thought he had it in the bag. Demar, then Ackerman with his first good result. Jakobsen went so early for no reason. Van der Poel, Cornelissen, Gaviria, and Milano. Mato Schmid just misses out. But Caleb Ewan with a huge victory just ahead of Tim Merlier. And Ackerman, good stuff. Honor Demar, pretty solid. He keeps getting third. But yeah, Jakobsen, like the Dutch train was there with 8 kilometers to go, and he had nothing left. So they need to figure out their trains if Jakobsen is going to win races. Nils Pollitt, the home rider, will start off the European time trial. We have 3 riders from Belgium with Wout van Aert, Victor Kampenaerts, and Yves Lampaert. If you haven't noticed, Belgium has been destroying things. Evenepoel won, ESCHBORN Frankfurt, Victor Kampenaerts somehow won Paris-Roubaix, Tim Merlier just got second, so I wouldn't be surprised if Wout van Aert wins. Filippo Ganna, the favorites. For Italy, we have Stefan Kung, Rowan Dennis, Tom Dumoulin, Primoz Roglic, Asgreen, Cavagna, McNulty, Schachmann, and then these 2 teams, Colombia and Spain, a little bit weaker with only Dani Martinez and Marc Soler. But, I mean, I think a big chance for Belgium to just continue their absolute domination. Stefan Bissiger, with 9 kilometers to go, has been dominant so far. He's only beaten by 1 second by Filippo Ganna, but is destroying everyone at the second time check and should take a nice lead over Yves Lampaert at the finish. The defending European time trial champion, Stefan Bissiger, with 3 kilometers to go. I mean, it should be huge, and it is. I think we're gonna need to go to maybe Dennis, Kung, Ganna, or Wout van Aert. Belgium could continue their dominance, but it's all so close. Rowan Dennis, what can he do? Second place, and it's close. And now we get into the big boys, Kung, Ganna, and Wout van Aert. At the second time check, it is Wout by 4 seconds over Ganna. Stefan Kung, he makes it first and third for the Swiss. It looks like Wout van Aert is going to continue the dominance for Belgium as Filippo Ganna takes the lead, but I don't think it's going to be enough to hold off Wouty Boy. Wout van Aert, the legend himself, he's basically perfect, and he wins. Belgium is unbeatable. It was very close between the 4 teams, Belgium, HSA, France, and Denmark, and I think Belgium will run away with the overall, and Wout van Aert might make himself a case to be up there in the individual standings, but just dominant by this team. Good stuff also from Switzerland getting 3rd and 5th, and also good stuff from Filippo Ganna with 2nd place. And now we're here to what I've been looking forward to all season, La Vuelta a España, the grand tour of this year's Cycling Nations Cup. We have Belgium as the strongest team, Evenepoel, last Vuelta winner, Wout van Aert, Philipsen, Merlier, highlighting the super strong team that will continue their winning ways, I assume. We have Alaphilippe Gaudu, Gonefroy for France, Vingegaard, Asgreen, and Pedersen for Denmark. We have Pogacar and Roglic, 2-headed monster for HSA. We have Mathieu van der Poel, Jakobsen, and Steven Kruijswijk, no huge GC rider, but they have depth with Kelderman, Poels, Arnesman, and Mollema. We have Enric Mas, Valverde, and Landa from Spain. They need something here. Italy, with Filippo Ganna is their best guy. Colbrelli, Caruso offer something as well. Egan Bernal will be looking to win this, and he will have a strong host of riders, with Martinez, Quintana, Lopez, and Higuita all helping him. Then we have Jai Hindley with Caleb Ewan and Ben O'Connor, very strong-looking Australia and New Zealand squad. We have Germany with Max Schachmann, Pollitt, and Bauhaus. It lacks convincingness of a top sprinter or GC rider. Bauhaus and Ackerman are going to have to pull off some good results. and maybe Bookman does something, but it just doesn't look up to the task. We have Kung and Bissiger, who will be good on the time trials, but who's doing anything else? Reichenbach and Shinomater probably aren't going to win La Vuelta. Hershey's probably not going to win a sprint stage. So breakaways and the team time trial are going to be huge for Switzerland. And then finally, we have USA Canada with Michael Woods. He'll probably win a stage. He seems to always. Paulus and Koos and McNulty, they'll do their best for the overall standings. And then we obviously have East Timor, who's going to win the race. In the team time trial to start La Vuelta in Utrecht, we have Belgium with the lead just over Denmark, and then Switzerland started off really well, but they didn't have depth behind Kung and Bissiger, so they're still third. And now we have Germany coming to the line. They look nowhere. Poor performance from Germany. Spain, it looks like they're doing okay, but I mean, they've kept their whole team together really well, but I don't know how that will translate to success. And it's just fifth. It's not what they need. We have Australia and New Zealand here. Rowan Dennis has been leading them all day. But will it work in the end? Fifth place, it's again fine. France has not been very good. 10th at the first time check. 7th at the second, moving up into 5th. So it looked like it was going to go worse. Netherlands wasn't 4th at both. The team has been pretty shedded, but Bauke Mollema leads them just a 4th. They can't get on that podium. And yeah, they're the last team. So Belgium wins again. You have to chill. You must chill, Belgium, as they beat Denmark by 11 seconds. Strong from Switzerland to get third with only real 2 good riders. The rest of their team held up pretty well. But yeah, I don't see how Belgium loses anything at this point. I think they're all unbeatable, and Wout van Aert is, he's hacked. He's broken the game. The first road race stage in this year's Vuelta will be a flat sprint. I forgot to mention that Ilan van Wilder, what a guy. He gets to wear the red jersey, so super happy for one of the least rated riders on the Belgian team, as Wilco Kelderman ahead of Yves Lampaert, Caleb Ewan. These riders' tactics and sprints just is astounding at times. Like, where's Caden Groves? He's okay, maybe they're just going for Groves. I don't know what Australia and New Zealand is doing. Wout van Aert, he wants to win again. He's not happy with his previous amount of winning. I don't know where Nizzolo is, but apparently they want Colbrelli, which, you know, fair enough. 4th place gets tiring after a while. But Danny Van Poppel, perfect lead out for Fabio Jakobsen. Van Poppel, one of the best lead out riders in the world. And Jakobsen just, I mean, when you are set up like that, how can you lose? Bauhaus does well to get in second. Philipsen will do pretty well to get in 3rd place. Pedersen, De Marne, Belgium didn't win. They still got on the points, though, in 3rd place. But yeah, Fabio Jakobsen just led out perfectly from Danny Van Poppel. Here we are in crosswinds heavy, stage 3 of La Vuelta a España. Belgium is leading the race, but 43 riders have been distanced, and it looks like they're done. Philipsen, Wout van Aert leading the race right now, and it looks like they're just going to go for Van Aert instead of Philipsen today. And now Netherlands makes their move with Fabio Jakobsen. Van der Poel, Van Poppel, Jakobsen, they're doing a great job today with Colbrelli on the wheel, but Colbrelli will never beat Jakobsen. And when you lead him out this well, he doesn't lose. Did I speak too soon? I spoke too soon. I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing. He didn't even get podium. I don't know what I'm talking about. Wout van Aert wins. Ewan second, Bauhaus third. Yeah, I should be fired. I'm fired as a Pro Cycling Manager game player. Wow, Jakobsen had it on a platter, silver platter delivered to Fabio's doorstep, and he kicked the platter onto the sidewalk and said, "No, thank you. I am the new Nizzolo. I will get 4th place." Like, look at him. How do you not win this? You're in the green jersey. You got a perfect lead out with like 400 meters left. You're gonna win. And then he's like, "Actually, never mind." And then Wout van Aert's like, "Fine. If you don't want to win, then I'll win." And Belgium continues to just be good. Very, very good. It's been a fun day out for Mauro Schmid and Sami Geschke, but Benoit Cosnefroy will reel them in as stage 4 of the Volta brings the first real climbing. We have the Puerto de Herrera, 6.4 kilometers at average of 5%, but max of 11%, as Hugo Hull comes to the front looking for McNulty, Paulus maybe. or maybe Michael Woods. That seems more likely. As there's Lagurdia, max of 9.9%. A little finishing kick that it looks perfect for Tadej Pogačar, to be totally honest. And Jan Polonc is there to go and try and lead out his teammates. And here we are, 5 kilometers to go, and just a little sprint kick. Maybe a hilly sprinter like Wout van Aert can. I mean, Wout van Aert can definitely win this with 78 hill. He's more than just a little hilly sprinter. Who else is lining up for the win? Maybe McNulty. He's got a little bit of a kick on him. And he can also, of course, climb fairly well. Caden Groves, I don't think he's got it. But as we go back to the front of the race with 2 kilometers to go, Wout van Aert is at the front. Remco Evenepoel is here. Juan Ayuso, Van Aert goes from the front, and oh my goodness, he blows everyone away. No one is even close. Roglic is going to try and reel him in. I think Van Aert went out too early, but that was still impressive. Or maybe he didn't. Will Roglic win? Or will Wout van Aert win again? Wouty, Van Aert, he wins again. He can do everything. He wins in the time trial. He wins in the flat sprint. He wins in the hilly sprint. He wins in the European time trial. Belgium is on steroids. It's becoming factual. Roglic does well. And George Bennett, 3rd place. That is insane. I need to see this. George Bennett, where are you, man? Hold on. Oh, there he is. George Bennett, he's just on the wheel of Roglic. And he almost wins this thing. He goes to the left with his 64 sprint. I love it from George Bennett. Very good. You'll get a point. But yeah, Wout van Aert, he's on steroids. He needs a drug test. This isn't fair. Stage 5 of the Vuelta is another hilly one. 5 categorized climbs on the day. And we have one left. The Alto del Vivero, second time they've climbed it, and then a descent to the line. We have Felix Grossartner attacking with Max Schachmann, so maybe HSA saving Pogačar and Roglic and not letting them chase. Being like, okay, if we don't chase, Grossartner is going to go win the race. Time, and there goes Tadej Pogačar. That is one move that you must mark, and Jack Haig is trying to mark it. He's a 30-second gap with pretty much just a descent to the line. Van der Poel has 81 descending to Pogačar's only 73, and Van der Poel makes a huge attack. Valverde, Woods, Vingegaard, all there. A pretty big group. Only like the likes of Sivakov, Bissiger, and Filippo Ganna being dropped. But it's all the way down to 13 seconds. Mathieu Van der Poel putting in a superb chase effort down to 9 seconds. And here goes Wout van Aert. And Pogačar will be joined by Wout, Michael Valkyrin, maybe trying to lead out Kasper Asgreen, but Pogačar has been caught out of great efforts from Van der Poel and Van Aert, and now we have Dylan Teuns and Julian Alaphilippe. Alaphilippe had a great win in La Flèche Wallonne, but has otherwise been just silent, and Dylan Teuns has done nothing to speak of so far, but he is second in the overall. Those two with 20 seconds, and Jonas Aguirre, Tadej Pogačar, Egan Bernal, Nielsen Paulus all trying to chase him down. But Alaphilippe seems to maybe be telling Dylan Teuns to the finish, but I don't think any of them will get it. Can Nielsen Paulus go catch him? Paulus with a big effort, but Wout van Aert is there. Alaphilippe trying to win it with 500 meters to go. Julian Alaphilippe, he gets it, the Frenchman. Great stuff. Dylan Teuns and Wout van Aert. Belgium continues to be very good. Tadej Pogačar just outside the points. Colbrelli, Bilbao, Bernal, Woods, Paulus, all in the top 10. Alaphilippe, he is very good at the hilly stages, and he will get his 2nd victory of the Cycling Nations Cup. The breakaway is getting whittled down as Geschka goes for the mountain points in stage 6, the first mountain stage of La Vuelta a España, and we are on the last climb. La Ascensión al Pico Llano. Simon Geschka going for it with Paulus, and Roman Bardet is done already. So it's gotten too hard, too fast for Bardet. Michael Matthews is leading the peloton, as the breakaway riders will definitely get caught. HSA with numbers. Grossartner, Polonc, Pogačar, Roglic, Mohoric, as Felix Grossartner, the Austrian champion, with 9 kilometers to go, will lead this race. Bernal, Van Aert on the mountains. I'm telling you, there's something up with this guy. It's not okay. I mean, we saw it in the Tour. He wins everything. It's just, it's one thing to do it in the Tour, in real life, and then there's another thing to do it when it's the best riders in the world, all of them at one race, at peak form, and he's still doing it. I don't understand Wout van Aert. 19 riders left as Remco Evenepoel has been dropped. Alaphilippe, Nairo Quintana, Gaudu, Lopez, Valverde, big riders being dropped. Gino Mader, the Swiss hope. Also, Mark Hirschi doing great stuff. Nibali, Izagirre, Grosschartner, Mas, Ayuso, Landa, Spain only has Pello Bilbao. How is Pello Bilbao the last one remaining? Just collapse for Spain. As Fulsang trying to lead Jonas Vingegaard. Vingegaard trying to prove he's the best climber here. And it is only him, Hindley, the Giro winner, Pogacar, Roglic, Bernal, O'Connor, as finally Wout van Aert is challenged. Bilbao is dropped. Pogacar is dropped. Tadej Pogacar, and it's only 5 guys. 2 Australians with Hindley and O'Connor. Bernal, Roglic, O'Connor maybe too tough. Hindley as well. Primoz Roglic and Jonas Vingegaard look to be the strongest. But Roglic, HSA, will get a win, and Roglic should go into the overall lead unless Vingegaard holds on. But dominance from him on the mountains. Bernal will do well to get in third. And Australia, having 2 guys in the top 5 will be crucial for those GC points if they can stay there. We have a pretty interesting situation unfolding in Stage 7, the final Vuelta of today's episode. Van der Poel, Haig, Alaphilippe, and Schachmann are all off the front as a lot of the top sprinters are gone. We see Caden Groves, Ackerman, Buhani, Ewan, Jakobsen, and Tim Merlier all dropped. So none of the real top sprinters except for Philipsen is here. But then again, we just saw Philipsen working at the front. So I don't know who's going to win the stage. Maybe it'll be Brandon McNulty and Nairo Quintana, 1-2 in the sprint. But Van der Poel, him and Giacomo Nizzolo. Nizzolo's here. No, come on, Nizzolo, go. I want him to win so badly, but it looks like they're going for Sonny Colbrelli and Brandon McNulty. What did I say? If he wins, I swear, that is the best prediction you've ever seen. Wout van Aert will probably win, but I can have dreams. He's trying to win another stage, but solo this time. Wout van Aert, there's no way he wins. He's done so much work. Mathieu van der Poel's 8 guys are off the front, none of them being McNulty or Nizzolo, and it's Anro Damar, but Mats Pedersen up the middle. Pello Bilbao tries. I think it's Mats Pedersen. Colbrelli is so close. Bilbao third, but Mats Pedersen had enough in the tank to get over this climb and then sprint Colbrelli. Great stuff to get second. And Pello Bilbao, the climber, is doing it all. He's been a great rider so far for Spain. Damar, Wout van Aert, I don't know what he was doing. He went really early for some reason. McNulty didn't win. I'm really sad. But good stuff from Mats Pedersen and a much-needed points for a Denmark team that has not been carrying their Søren Kragh Andersen form very well. Primoz Roglic continues to lead the overall standings, but Wout van Aert and Caleb Ewan both make big jumps into second and third. Remco Evenepoel in fourth, and Jonas Vingegaard rounding out the top 5. As for the team classification, Belgium gets 50 points, skyrocketing them ahead of the competition into first by 40 points to HSA, Hungary, Slovenia, Austria, who have 41, closely followed by Denmark, France, and then Australia, New Zealand, round out the top 5. USA Canada moves down into the relegation zone with Spain, who had a horrendous episode, but Germany is happy that they escaped. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Next episode, we'll be going into the rest of the Vuelta a España. Will Roglic continue to win everything possible? He probably will.